But yeah, so I picked some news, and I know you brought some news stories here too. So we're gonna start with yours, and where this is old, I still think it is relevant because of the fact that I mean, Dwayne Johnson, I believe he is one of the most busiest men in all of Hollywood right now. I think one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid actor.
Mm-hmm.
And there's, in case you guys have forgot, he's set to star in the Big Trouble in Little China remake.
Yes.
So you can file this under two categories: one, The Rock in everything, and two, remaking your childhood. Because it hits both of them.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you brought this up. Is this? Are you a Rock fan? Is that what's going on? Like
I am a fan of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He is somebody I enjoy watching, and basically, well, I would say, every movie he's in, but I'm pretty sure if you just throw in any movie, he's probably in it somewhere, or TV show at this point now. So that's the reason I saw this. And I'm like, man, like, when does this guy have time to do all the stuff he does?
Oh yeah. Have you? Okay. Also, I will add in this. Have you ever messed with his app, the Rock Clock?
No, I've not messed with the app. I do have, I think, Twitter and Instagram, and he's constantly like doing stuff. So I'm like, how do you find time?
Oh no. See, this is where it gets even better.
So I need to download this.
Yeah, the Rock Clock. It's an alarm clock, and I believe I talked about it a while back, like when it first came out. And you can do you can set up your own alarm clocks, or you can wake up on Rock time. So this is when the Rock is going to wake up. And so it's like you like I was looking, I'm like, fucker's waking up at 3:30 in the morning to probably go work out and all that, because he works out all the time, because I mean you can't stay that jacked, that big, and not be working out a lot.
I'm installing it right now.
Yeah, I highly recommend waking up to the Rock's time. Just getting up there and be like, all right, I'm up. Rock's up now too. Do some curls or whatever, back to bed.
Well, we'll see. I mean, that's the reason I wanted to bring this up, because I'm like, the guy works out and is constantly in shape, and I'm like, I find an excuse not to go to the gym because I'm like, oh, I don't have time, and I'm like, obviously that is not a valid excuse, because look at him. He's doing multiple TV shows, doing multiple stuff. Apparently, he's going to be running for office.
Yeah, possibly. and he's not like he's executive producing shows too.
Yeah,
like, and he's got the YouTube channel that he's working on. But yeah, so we add in here Big Trouble in Little China, which is an 80s movie that originally starred Kurt Russell. And yeah, and the thing I love about this is the article I'm pulling from is 2 years old when this was announced, because Rock was currently riding high off the success of San Andreas. But he had a quote in here, because a lot of the fans were boo, big, or a remake, another remake, and all that stuff. And he has this quote in here: I loved reading the reactions from fans, that they were so polarized. I'm the same way. My response is, know that I come to the project with nothing but love and respect for the original, which is why we want to bring on John Carpenter. That I think is going to be really cool.
I definitely agree with that. He's also, I mean, of course, he's got Jumanji, which is something else from a lot of people's childhood. Rampage, obviously based on a game. Who knows how that's going to do? There's another Journey movie, and it's From the Earth to the Moon is announced. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at his IMDb. He's still got the Black Adam movie, which who knows how involved that's going to be in the DC universe.
Yeah.
So I'm just riding that Rock train right now, to be honest, because I mean, I just want to see what else he can do, because I enjoy seeing him in movies.
Oh yeah, not to mention, I mean, he's got the successful HBO series Ballers, which is riding high on its third or fourth season right now, and he's still involved with the WWE. I mean, he is, he's more part-time and all that stuff, but I mean, he could probably come in at any time he wanted, and pull a Goldberg and do one last time, do another title run.
Yeah, and I can definitely say that.
Yeah, and I don't even think he would have to put himself through such misery that Goldberg did to be only 20 pounds heavier than when he left the WWE during his initial WWE run.
Yeah, he's in better shape than I will ever be in my life. Like, if you combined every ounce of in shape I've ever been and ever will be, I'm still not in him at his worst shape.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Easily.
But no, so I look forward to this. I look forward to all this stuff. I mean, I have been a Rock fan. Have you seen the trailer for Jumanji?
Yes. We talked about it on Zing this a while back. Ellie is my co-host is a huge Rock fan. So I also kind of wanted to bring this story up for her too, because she's really excited about anything he's in. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll make sure to talk about that because I'm excited because you're excited, sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, like, I saw the trailer, and at first I was, or not the trailer, the promotional stuff, and I was like, wait, what are they doing? And then seeing that trailer, I'm like, okay, I can get behind this.
Yeah. It's a simple enough concept too.
Yeah, it's simple enough concept. It's doing it to where it is going to honor Robin Williams. It's going to honor the original without just being like, well, here's everything that's going on and all that. So I'm looking forward to seeing Jumanji.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I am too. Ellie actually went to go see Baywatch, and she enjoyed it.
Yeah,
she said she didn't care what the review said. She watched it and liked it.
Yeah, I still have yet to see Baywatch, but that's because my movie marathon going just about every week thing hadn't started until after.
Know what you mean on that one.
Yeah. So the next story, actually, I believe I think I found this one. But this is that Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are doing a new sci-fi or new horror comedy called Slaughterhouse Rulez, and Rulez is spelled with a Z because it's awesome. But also on top of that, they have their own production company called Stolen Picture, and they have cast this. They have cast this already. You have so far joining the cast, Michael Sheen from Underworld. I believe that's also Michael Sheen from Masters of Sex. Asa Butterfield, who's from Ender's Game, Hermione Corfield from King Arthur: Legend of the Sword, and Finn Cole from Peaky Blinders and Animal Kingdom have all joined the movie. And Cole will be top lining as the movie's young, wide-eyed hero Don Wallace. So this looks really cool. I picked this because I love Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm on board for it.
Yeah, I've since Shaun of the Dead, watching everything that them and Edgar Wright have done since then, loved Baby Driver, and even went back and watched Spaced and loved that.
Yeah. I was about to ask if you've seen Spaced or not, because some people have, some people haven't. That one hit me at a really good time. I haven't seen Baby Driver yet.
So good.
I will when it's available on home video. But actually, I'm gonna admit this, and I'm sorry, everybody. I've never seen At World's End, but I did buy it. I own it. Yeah, I did buy it. I own it. I just need to sit down and watch it.
Oh yeah, it's a solid movie. I mean, it's one of those in the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy. It is hard to top Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah,
but it is one of those like, okay, we are, it was a good way to end the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy. I'll put it to you that way.
Yeah, I wanted to see it, and I thought I owned, like, someone mentioned it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to watch that. And I looked, I'm like, I don't own that. I swore I bought it, so I was like, whatever, I'm buying it. I'm gonna watch it because I need to see it. Because I loved Hot Fuzz, I love Shaun of the Dead, I love Space. It, like, all of that hit me at the right time to where I just was on board. I enjoy British humor. I think it's phenomenal most of the time. It's very dry humor a lot of the time, very kind of upper witty sometimes too. So I enjoy all of that. So I can't wait to see that, and I'm excited about this too because I mean,
so
why not?
Let me ask you this: how were you? Are you a fan of the Guardians movies?
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
No, the Gahul, the Owls movie. No,
oh yeah, big fan, big fan. Got a tattoo actually.
But no, the like, because one thing with reading the Wikipedia page on Baby Driver, one, that Simon, or not Simon, Edgar Wright had been working on Baby Driver since 1994.
Wow.
Like, so pre-spaced, probably pre-working with Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and all that. But also because it was coming out, like he had it set up now. Edgar Wright sat down with James Gunn, so that both movies, because they both have these great soundtracks, but no songs repeat. You can get both you can get both albums, or the vinyl, probably 2-disc vinyl for Guardians Volume 2, and the 4-disc vinyl for Baby Driver, and no songs will be on both. It is a killer soundtrack. I've heard
it's got a great soundtrack too. So if you're into that, out, and I was like, okay. I mean, it kind of passed the in theater moment for me, so that's why I'm waiting.
Yeah, I had seen it later on, and I will also point out, because I didn't mention this in my review, but a good old fuck you to the people behind me who decided to talk and be on their phone throughout the whole fucking movie. But not enough to where I turned around and just been like, shut the fuck up.
I had the same thing happen when we saw Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It was bad, and it was a ton of, not to alienate anybody, but a ton of teenagers. So I was like, it's pointless. And she kept on going. I was like, I'm going to say something. And she goes, it's pointless. It really is. And I'm like, no, I'm going to say something. So then I said something to the manager and got free tickets. So
yeah, it was one of those, like, I kept sitting there going, like, and I know if I had someone with me, I would have said something. I'd have been like, I'm just like, go with me on this one. Yeah, it's really great that we could see this movie without no one talking, and just do one of those things.
Yeah.
But since I went by myself, because my friends wanted to be lame and not go with me, so I'm like, whatever, I'll just ignore him and all that stuff. But I've had that with every movie. Like, there'd be someone behind me, or a few rows back, talking, but it'd be through the credits.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of normal for the most part, as long as there's not some end scene. I normally hear a lot of people talk.
Or sorry, not credits, through the trailers in the beginning.
That one's a hit or miss in the theaters I normally go to. Like, sometimes you have people kind of muttering, but it's nothing that I'm like upset by that, to be honest.
Yeah, and Beats pointing out that I'd probably end up being tossed out. I've been like, if I go out, they go out with me. That's all I'm saying.
Bring them with me.
But yeah, so back to the story. The Slaughterhouse Rules. I mean, this, I could see, Finn Cole being, they got the gallery here at the end. And it is Michael Sheen from Masters of Sex, as well. But yeah, this is a great, solid. I think they're all British cast. That they got going on here. And I look forward to this. I will probably, cheap plug to one of my co-hosts, I will probably talk about this movie on Podcast of Terror. Just because that's our network's horror themed podcast and all that. But yeah, the next one I picked. So this next one I picked a little bit because it's the big news, but also because you, sir, are a comic book fan, and I wanted to get your opinions on this.
All right.
Netflix purchased Millarworld.
Okay.
So, and also, it seems like, as a aside to this, Disney is pulling all their stuff from Netflix to start their own streaming service.
Yeah, I saw that, and like I said, that was a big news thing for me to see, that they were going to be. Oh wow, hold on. I was just on the page and I wanted to say something. No, it kicked me out. No, it's the Netflix thing just kind of caught me off guard, because I'm like, didn't that deal like just happen?
Yeah. I
don't even think the ink's dry on the paper yet.
Yeah, it was really weird because they announced it 2 years ago. The Force Awakens was the first movie that would be coming out on Netflix, but it was the other outside the U.S. territories Netflix because they still had the deals with Stars, and the Stars contract ended, like that shortly after The Force Awakens came out, for the first run in the TV spectrum side of things. And then so it's like, yeah, and then they announced this, but it sounds like with how the Netflix deal is going to go on the Disney side, the Marvel stuff, like the Marvel originals, Luke Cage and all that stuff, are probably still going to be there because I
can't see them moving.
Yeah,
I can't. It would be a big to do if they did that.
Yeah, and then also we should point out, because Mark Millar is the co-creator of Millarworld with him and his wife. That he has basically he uses the comic book publishers to do these stories that he does with the artists, and they're great stories. Movies like Kick-Ass, Wanted, The Kingsman.
I just saw Kingsman for the first time too recently. Yeah. I don't know how I missed that one, and wow, awesome, and also very British too. So love that. Can't wait for the new one, because we were like, well, we have to watch this one before we see the new one. Duh.
Yeah, it's so all of those, since they've already come out. Actually, Wanted might be coming back because that one they haven't done anything with, but if it's already licensed out to another company, like Kick-Ass is and Kingsman, then it's not going to be involved with this deal. But there are a ton of other properties that could be coming here, either as films or TV series. Some of them that just stuck out to me would be I could probably see it more as a TV show. The new one that Mark Millar did with Greg Capullo, Reborn.
Oh, Greg Capullo.
I could easily see that being a TV series. The other one, I forget who the artist was, but for MPH, that one I could see being a TV series. Huck. I mean, there's so much. Actually, the one I thought first, Jupiter's Legacy. That, I'm like, boom, this is what, especially if for some weird reason the Marvel Netflix movie or TV shows are going to be leaving with this deal, which I don't think it is, but if it is,
I would be shocked, to be honest. Yeah. Like beyond shocked if they did that.
Yeah, no, definitely. But it's like, the whole worst case scenario, I could see Jupiter's Legacy filling in that hole real easily.
Yeah.
Especially with a lot of the TV that's on now.
I think that they're trying to, like, a lot of places are trying to stick with more of these TV series and stuff now, like doing these, you release the entire season all at once, it's all available. It seems to be a very popular thing now. I mean, you've got also, there's stuff in the works for Watchmen. Watchmen's coming back as something on HBO. It's supposed to be something on HBO. You've also got Sin City's apparently back in the works too. So you got all these comics like coming back as shows or as, being reborn. And it's one of those things, like, if you had told me 10 years ago, I want to say 10 years ago, that we'd be in a situation where like almost every network has some comic book related thing on it, or that's like the thing that everyone's scrambling towards, I would have told you you're a liar and there's no way you're from the future.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it's just amazing to live in this time and to have, all these things coming to fruition too.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of those things that, I mean, you look at now with this deal, like, and as the article starts, Warner Brothers bought DC Comics back in 1968. Disney bought Marvel in 2009. Netflix purchases Millarworld. I don't think there's much else out there. And actually, there was a news story that we did. I think it was like Alterna Comics, or Boom Studios got like something like that. Another like more indie comic book publisher got a majority investment in, I think, by Fox Studios, basically getting them first look access or first look rights to the comics.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it seems like they're hitting the right idea of, okay, we have these comic books. Comic books are really big right now. but we do know there's more than Marvel and DC. I know Valiant's been working hard to get a lot of their stuff up off the ground. Yep, Beat put it up here. 20th Century Fox Film has acquired a significant minority stake in Boom Studios. So that's the one I was referring to. Beat is right on the ball here.
Nice.
So I mean, and there are tons of stories that I could see just from Mark Millar writing them that can be pulled up here as movies.
I mean, I'm scrolling through stuff he's done, and it's still going.
Yeah, and that's not to take out from the fact that, you know, he's worked. He did. I believe he did. I think he did Civil War.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did Civil War, and then he did Old Man Logan for Marvel. He's done stuff for, I think, for DC as well.
Yep.
And all that.
You are correct.
Yeah, so it's
Justice League of America, The Flash, Legend of the Dark Knight. So he's Swamp Thing. So he's worked with several different characters within, but Superman. So he's worked with several different characters from both.
Oh yeah, and it's one of those things. Like the only thing that I think would hurt this is if he was, because of this deal, and I don't see why they would, but because of this deal, he no longer would have the chance to write a story for Marvel or DC, and I mean DC and Marvel proper, not what was it, the imprint that Kick-Ass was published through.
What was that?
It's like Power. No, I think it's the same one as Powers. The Marvel Max. No, that's not Marvel Max.
I just had it and I scrolled away. Vertigo? It's not Vertigo.
No, Vertigo is DC.
Oh, Icon Comics.
Icon, yeah, that's it. So yeah, I look at this and I honestly think, like, there's part of me that worries, like, okay, are we going to be getting too many comic books?
Well, that's the thing I was about to say. I mean, I don't want to be morbid, but is the comic book bubble ever going to burst?
I mean, the way I look at it, on the Marvel and DC side, I can definitely see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of the fact that, and as we will get to with our discussion topic, like, you know, it seems like there's only so many stories that they want to tell.
Yeah. Or that you can tell in film form too.
Yeah. And it's weird to me, like I think with them big two, yes, this will happen. I mean, one of the funniest jokes from Lego Batman was Alfred saying, "Oh, which mopey moment are you talking about?" and then going backwards chronologically.
That was great. That was so good, and I loved all the little Lego versions of him in each of those scenes.
Yeah,
minus, of course, the Adam West one where that was just video of one of those scenes.
Yeah, and so it's like it sort of brings to your head, like, and you realize how far apart the movies were. Like, they're not that far apart. Like, I think the biggest gap was between Batman and Robin
to Batman Begins.
Like, that.
Well, I mean, minus the 1960s one.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course, minus the 1960s, because that one was, you know, the 1960s, and then it was in the 1989 Tim Burton Batman film.
But and real quick, since we mentioned it, I want to say this: Lego Batman, in my opinion, one of the best comic book movies ever.
Oh yeah,
it's great. It's brilliant. It's great. I love it. It's one of the best Batman you'll get, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I went into it knowing I'm probably gonna like this, and left to go, and yeah, I really like this.
It's okay. So this is the weird part, because I watched the Lego movie. I love it. I loved the Lego Batman movie. I looked at the Lego Ninjago. I don't think it. From seeing the commercials, I'm like, I might go see that.
Yeah, it's just a fun. They're fun movies.
Yeah, and it's like, I've seen a couple episodes of the Cartoon Network Lego Ninjago series.
Is it supposed to be connected?
No, I do not think so.
Okay, because I heard it wasn't. Because I'm like, I don't think it is, and I hope it's not. From hearing it, I'm like, okay, this is probably connected, and then from seeing that trailer, I'm like, this is not connected, because one of the first jokes that they show or say in there is,
the character of Lloyd pulls off his mask.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm your son, you're my father. He's like, well, no, duh, Lloyd. It's Lloyd. No, Lloyd. Lloyd. I'm
Lloyd.
your father. I named you.
I would know.
Yeah, I would know. But no, so I mean, and also I will point out, I only own two 4K movies, Logan and Lego Batman movie. Lego Batman movie looks so good in 4K. Like I tell people,
get 4K movies.
I tell people, because that big black box behind me is a 4K TV. That it was like when I watched it after work, it was like there was little Lego figures on my screen just going about, like actual Lego figures, not just like computer generated stuff. It was so good. Speaking of 4K, possibly, yes. Because of Netflix.
Yes.
Are you a fan of David Letterman? Like, did you watch his show?
I'm a fan of people making fun of him. Like, it's one of those things. I've seen very little David Letterman, but I've seen so many jokes like made at his expense by Saturday Night Live or just everyone and anyone. It was just like he seemed to be the punching bag of like late night joke making. Besides, Jay Leno, but he's supposed to be coming back to Netflix.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So, there's the one chick that has her show on there. Why am I not remembering her name?
Chelsea Handler.
Yeah, and I was like, that's interesting. And it's apparently has been popular that now he wants to come back.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, like, there's been enough hullabaloo.
Nice.
Enough stuff mentioned with Chelsea lately that, and I've never seen it. It's just one of those things, like, Chelsea Handler has never interested me as a comic. When I've seen her, she is funny. It's just not my type of humor.
Yeah.
And so seeing this, like, I'm like, okay, David Letterman has not done anything but grow his beard.
He basically went off television and vanished to grow a beard.
Yeah. To come back as this lumberjack or whatever. And so reading this,
demand to be back on television.
Yeah, there'll be 6 episodes in the series, which will feature in-depth conversations with extraordinary people, and in the field segments expressing his curiosity and humor. That sounds really good.
Yeah,
that in my opinion is going to be a really good show. More in the lines of Bill Nye Saves the World.
Yes. Oh God, such a good show.
Yeah. One of these things, like, where you're probably not going to find him doing these stupid pet tricks and like here's his late night show just on Netflix and they're doing it weekly or whatever. But him getting down, because his interviews were really good. The Entertainment Weekly is where we have the link for this, and they start the video with him interviewing Joaquin Phoenix. With that whole meltdown that Joaquin Phoenix had or whatever. And so it'd be one of those things, like, David Letterman was a great interviewer, could get the great content out of people when they weren't really, like Joaquin Phoenix, like, was going through some stuff and decided, instead of stepping back, which is like, I'm gonna let the world see the stuff that I'm going through and all that.
Now, from reading this real quick, from reading through this real quick, and the whole in-depth conversations with extraordinary people in the field, here's my thing: is this going to be taken like as a serious thing, or is this going to be like just kind of a joke the entire time? Like in extraordinary people, is it going to be like actually extraordinary people, or just people like you know what I mean, kind of being just meta on itself?
I honestly think it's going to be there's going to be 2 parts to this. The in the field segments are where there's going to be more of the humor.
Okay.
The in-depth conversations with extraordinary people, I think that is going to be, at least my hopes, I'd be more interested in it, is like, think of it like how with the Daily Show, with how they get the politicians and how he's had the politicians on his show, and talking about the topics like that. Like my hope would be that it's going to be more along those lines, where it's him talking with someone who is very knowledgeable on this topic, to educate us and educate himself.
You saying Bill Nye was a real big like sticking point for me with that, because now I've got, you know, I'm like, that's exactly what he did. So yeah. I'm like, I can definitely see Letterman doing that.
It's just with this one, it would not necessarily be science focused.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Bill Nye's was.
Yeah, it's just he did the whole stuff with that, and then had the little sit downs where it was like a serious talk, but while kind of poking fun too.
Oh yeah, you know, like never taking themselves so seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, this is. I mean, gosh, and I mean, think about it. He doesn't have to do this. I mean, he's spent 33 years on TV, has 6,200 or 6,028 episodes under his belt. He's got enough. He's probably got enough money to just sit back and relax.
See, I'm wondering, because I don't know if I skimmed over it. Did Netflix come to him, or did he go to Netflix with this idea? I'm just wondering, because I skimmed it and I didn't see anything where I don't think I saw anything where it pointed out who went to who.
I think I want to say it was Netflix.
Went to him.
Yeah.
So that's I think that's good on Netflix's part to pull him.
I mean, it could be him. But I could see him not doing it for the money, but doing it because like here's his quote. I feel excited and lucky to be working on this project for Netflix, Letterman said in a statement. Mm-hmm. Here's what I have learned. If you retire to spend more time with your family, check with your family first. Thanks for watching. Drive safely.
But no, I mean, that's why I wanted to mention that, was because of like if they went to him, that's something I was interested. It would be interested in, you know, that they came to him and he thought it was such a good pitch that he goes, yeah, hold on, let me shave this beard and I will return to television. Or is he keeping it?
I don't know. I mean, he very well could keep it. There's part of me now that thinks that it could be he went to them, because it just says, you know, like it doesn't say who went to where, like who went to which, you know, which party met, like offered it up and all that. It was, and honestly, I can see, I could see it being, you know, him going like, hey, I've got this idea. I want to do something, you know, like John Stewart did with HBO.
Yeah.
And then that quickly turned into
one of the best shows that is on sometimes.
I don't know. Okay, so I've got nothing else to add with that story. But I think we are going to take a quick break. So real quick, if you like what you're hearing so far, you can go to gncast.com/support, and on there you will find our Patreon link. You can be our partner. One of the things that you get with this is you get me recommending comic books to you. This is at the Partner Plus level, the $5 level, or higher, and you support this. It's a monthly, you know, it's a monthly thing, but you're getting every week, when I remember to do it, you know, just about every week, you're getting me recommending you at least 5 comic books out there, and these are great comic books and all that stuff. And so if you're wanting to get into comic books, check it out. You know, it's $5 a month. You get an idea, and then hey, you're supporting us, and we'd love to have you guys on. You could be like Growly Bear, be like Brian Jensen, who have become partners with us. Help us keep the network afloat. Is what I'm getting at with this. gncast.com/support.
For more on this Galactic Network podcast, go to gncast.com. That's gncast.com.